Hey everyone, this is David Pike, Motorcity Mechanic. I've got a video today that's going to be pertaining to two types of vehicles. Those are the Dodge Durango and its sister vehicle, which is the Grand Cherokee. They're basically built off the same platform, so they share a lot of similarities. And this video is going to cover from the years 2011 all the way up to 2015. I want to show you step by step how to remove the alternator on a 3.6 liter Pentastar engine. Currently there's a recall out on some of them. The recall number is P as in Paul, 60 as in 60. If you want to see if your vehicle's covered under that, feel free to call your local Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep dealer and give them your VIN number, and they'll notify you as well whether or not it pertains to you. Also, you may be gotten something in the mail pertaining to it as well. Either way, this is the removal of the alternator. This will either be the way the mechanic's doing it for the recall, or this is how you're doing it if it's not covered and you're needing to replace one for any reason. So in the meantime, you get comfortable while I get my hands dirty. Okay, so the first step we need to do when we're working on the alternator is we've got to disconnect the battery cable so that we don't cause any damage or short anything out while we're getting to the battery post on the alternator itself. Now, the battery is located under the passenger side seat, but we actually have a remote access here under the hood. This is also where you would jump start one off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull the plastic cover off. Now with that plastic cover off, we can go ahead and get us a 13 millimeter. And we're going to back off this long nut here. And that's going to separate the front of the car from the rear of the car. And we'll pull the cable straight up. And that cable right there is the one that's going to run out to the fuse box and then piggyback down to the alternator. So to make sure it don't touch again, we'll go ahead and put the plastic cover back over just for now. It's not going to snap on very well. There we go. But it's going to stay in place for now. We've got it disconnected, so now we can actually move on to getting the belt off. Now here we got our serpentine belt tensioner right here. It has a nice little square 3/8 drive size hole in the front of it. And there's going to be our alternator. Now, before you take the belt off, the best thing to do is, if you don't already know which way the belt's routed, either take a picture of your smartphone or get you a piece of paper and draw you a little schematic of how the belt's routed, so when you go back with it, it'll save you a lot of time. Now, in order to release the tension, we're going to use our 3/8 ratchet and we're going to try to rotate counterclockwise. And there we go, we get our tension off. We start pulling it off of pulleys. Mainly we just want it off the alternator. You don't have to pull the belt completely off, you just want to be able to get to the alternator. Now with the belt off, we can go ahead and get to the 3 bolts and 1 nut that hold the alternator in place, as well as getting to the positive battery cable and the connector. Now the alternator has where the positive battery cable goes to the backup, there's actually a plastic cover that covers the studs, so that way nothing accidentally touches it while it's on the vehicle. You need to pop that off. Now I like to get me a short 13 millimeter ratchet. This one's actually a ratchet wrench, which really helps out. Now just get down in here and break it loose. We'll take the nut all the way off, and that will get our 13 millimeter nut off and our positive battery cable. Now the only thing on the rear to worry about is the actual connector for the internal workings. It's got a lock you got to squeeze, and I'll show you that shortly once we get the alternator off. That one's off now. Now we'll go ahead and proceed to get into the rest of the bolts, which the bottom one on this one will start out being a nut. The reason why it's a nut, let me go ahead and get on here, get out of the way of the camera, is because the negative battery cable actually goes right there in its place. So once you get the nut off, you're going to slide the cable off. Once you slide the cable off, you now got your bolt you got to take loose. So it's kind of a bolt slash stud combination. And there's your negative battery cable. We're moving that out of the way. Pretty big and bulky. So now we'll work on getting to the 3 bolts. Now you got 2 uppers. I'm just going ahead and break them loose for now. One on the front here at the top, one at the back up here at the top. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and proceed down to the lower one as well, that we just took the stud off, or the nut off, and the cable. Alright, so now I've got them broke loose. I'm going to go ahead and take them off by hand. There's no need in you seeing me back out a bolt, but either way, I'm going to go ahead and get them out, and then as I get the alternator out, I'll get you back here. Alright, so we're down to backing out that last bolt. Now what I recommend doing is supporting the alternator, so that when we take that last bolt out, it doesn't just drop. There we go, we got that off, and we naturally come right out this hole without any problems. So there's our old alternator that's covered under the recall on this particular vehicle. So you got your 2 upper bolts like I mentioned. Lower bolt down here that actually had the stud, which is this. And then you had your negative battery cable that went on top of that stud, and then the nut that held it in place. Back side, you've got your positive battery cable right here with the 13mm nut we took loose, and you got your connector right here for the items that are controlled by the PCM, which is the internal workings of the alternator, such as the regulator. Huh? Well, I'm he's not right this second. Yeah, actually on the connector, it's like what I always, if you've seen my videos before, it's what I call a 2-stage connector as far as the lock. You got the red portion here, and then you got the portion in between that you actually squeeze to release it on the alternator. Unfortunately, you cannot squeeze that properly unless that red piece is slid all the way up. Currently, now it's down. I can actually, on this one, do it with my hand, but once it's been on there for a while, you might have to use a screwdriver to pry it up. Once you pry it up, then you can squeeze on the center section and pull it up. Otherwise, with that red piece down in its lock position, you cannot squeeze it. So, with that, now you see how to release the connector, because you may not be able to see the connector unless you're getting underneath or using a mirror. I can do it by touch because I know what it feels like, I know where the lock is, I know how to slide it up. Alright, there you got it. You see how you got to replace the alternator on that 3.6 liter Pentastar. It's fairly simple. To me, it's one of the easiest ones to do. I've seen a lot harder, I've seen a lot easier too, but to me, I feel comfortable that it's something you can knock out in less than half an hour. Just take your time. I want to go ahead and reiterate about disconnecting that battery cable. It's very important not to ground anything out that doesn't need to be grounded, cause any sparks, cause any damage, stuff like that. So just take your time, and you'll get access to the back of it, the connector. Now you know how to release both locks on that connector. So also, like I said, if you think the recall pertains to yours, contact your local dealer. I will go ahead and repeat that multiple times here. So, any kind of comments you might have related to this video or in general is fine. Any suggestions about upcoming videos you'd like to see or topics of discussion, that's awesome as well. So also, if you can give me any kind of thumbs up, thumb down, that kind of critiques me and tells me how I'm doing and how my videos are doing. So that way, if I need to change things up a bit or keep upping my game, I will. So also would like it if you could possibly to subscribe. As you know already, once you subscribe, you'll get notified when any new videos come out. You'll be in the loop, per se, to say it that way. You'll get notified of anything that's going on, any kind of comments I leave or post on the channel, you'll be notified as well. So also, if you got a second, check out the Facebook page. On our main channel page, there's a Facebook icon. Click on that. That'll direct you over to Facebook. Feel free to like it, share it, spread the word. That's what this is all about. Let's make this channel grow. I'm here to help you, and if you can help other people through me, awesome. Please do share these videos. That's what they're here for. So with that, I appreciate everybody watching these videos, And you know what I'm going to say. Always stay tuned for more.